So something happened this past weekend that was really exciting. I just want to thank you guys before I go into what it was. I want to thank you for being so kind and supportive. I would have never imagined 6 months ago that this would have Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, August 21st, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous summer day. Now, I'm at the Snug Harbor Arts and Cultural Center, and there's a bee flying right around my microphone. I'm not sure if it's picking up on that, but I'm at the Staten Island Snug Harbor Cultural Center. It's a gorgeous day. I want to get out of the house a little bit and just explore some of the surrounding area. Get out of here. It's got a yellow jack. I pretty much can't touch my camera until this yellow jack decides to go away. Alright, I think we're good. So something happened this past weekend that was really exciting. I just want to thank you guys before I go into what it was. I just want to thank you for being so kind and supportive. I would have never imagined 6 months ago that this would have happened. This past weekend I was chosen to show a short film in a Staten Island Film Festival with local island filmmakers pertaining to either the island or concepts revolving the island. And it was 6 months ago when I started this, I would have never imagined that I would be submitting vlogs or my creations to different film festivals, and to get chosen was like mind-blowing. And it wouldn't have been possible without the love and support of you guys. You guys have been, they say the YouTube comment section is never a good place, but I beg to differ, because the community that we have built here, the people from all over the world that come together with one common goal, with one common love, it just blows my mind every single time I post. And everybody, it's beautiful. I mean, I can't describe any other way. So just thank you guys for all of that, because that's what kept me going. And it is keeping me going. And that's what led to this pretty phenomenal event, I think. So I want to just thank each and every one of you. So the festival itself was on the water, overlooking New York Harbor. We've been there quite a few times. And there was this moon, and I'd never seen anything like it before. I don't know what event was going on. It was a full moon, but the moon was huge, and it was rising slowly above the skyline. I had never seen anything like it before in my life, maybe in video games. I got a picture of it. The picture looks terrible because it was a little far away, and it was an iPhone 6. I didn't have my good camera with me. But just look at this picture. It was this big glowing yellow ball, and if anyone knows what specific event it was Friday night on the East Coast. I don't know, because I don't think normal full moons don't look like that. Normal full moon is just a white moon in the sky. This was absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure if it's a summer event only. Now, another reason why I came here is a nice, peaceful, quiet place that I can get some reading done, because I've been working on this book for about a year now. It's a biography about John Lennon, and I'm about halfway done with it. On page 351. I go through pretty big phases where I get very interested and lose interest. I have a very short attention span when it comes to reading anything. I'm still wildly fascinated with a book, but to sit down and read is very difficult for me. But it's a beautiful day. Summer's coming to an end, so I wanted to just sit back, relax, ideally have a beer, which I couldn't get here, but sit back, relax, and enjoy a good book. I was having this thought, and let me know if I'm totally not making any sense or I'm totally off base. You know, when you read a book about a celebrity, you think how fascinating their life is, how interesting their life is. And I'm wondering if we think that because they're a celebrity, that their life is so interesting, or it's the fact that their life is actually very interesting. Does that make sense? Meaning that if you took my life experiences and put it into a book and stapled me as a celebrity, would that be considered equally fascinating if somebody wrote a book about me, not knowing who I was in the public space? I think the idea of them being a celebrity has a lot to do with the fact that we think these people are so fascinating. Although I think John was an actual fascinating guy, just reading about his life. But it was just, I don't know, a thought. What do you guys think? If that doesn't make any sense, then don't even bother answering the question. But I think it could be a potentially fascinating subject. And that's not to say that my life isn't interesting, but take anybody's normal life, for example, and use that as the context to put into a book, read it. Would it have the same effect if I wasn't well known? Now, Snug Harbor is a pretty large complex. A lot of it's a park, but there are substantial areas that are filled up with the buildings that used to house the sailors that lived here. And there are these gorgeous buildings. I'm pretty sure it's Greco-Roman architecture. These gigantic Colosseum type buildings. And it just goes on. I mean, it just goes on pretty far down. I think most of the complex, these buildings were built in the mid 1800s. I believe it's actually Greek Revival, which is the type of architecture style in that specific period. But nonetheless, the buildings are pretty impressive. So because of the very stylized architecture here, it's a big place for film locations. And there are these long wires, long cables, electrical cables running because they're filming something here. I'm not quite sure what it is though. And here's just more film equipment. Working on a set or any sort of entertainment, it's a lot of hurry up and wait, where you'll work for a short amount of time, have to wait for a few hours, work for a short amount of time, have to wait for a few hours. It's not as glamorous as it may seem in front of the big screen, at least if you're a part of the crew.